You are, Dan. A woman on a mission, I like it.
As long as there's wasabi peanuts, I'm good. Put the whole plate in front of me. I'm not on camera, right?
Oh, I didn't tell you, I confess, I didn't talk to the fellow that was here last time. I was, whoops, and he can't get in.
You're okay.
You're on it. He had me wearing a mic.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that I just had a back injection last week and I was in a lot of pain when I was here the last time. I would move a certain way and then and my knee would give out and my back would give out. Really, really quietly.
This is on.
So I don't know what actually made I'm walking around periodically. You might hear. So.
They didn't play at the last board meeting?
Oh God, I don't know. I hope so. All right, yay. We are officially starting 5 o'clock. Here we go.
No.
Or chocolate.
So we are exactly where we need to be. It's exciting. So who are the two people? Megan's not here tonight and Donna's not here tonight. That's the only two I know. So other people will be rolling in. So we're gonna split up in the same groups that we were essentially last time. Review the surveys you were working on last time because things have been rearranged or tweaked based on stuff that you said. Make sure that they are the way you want them to be. And then we're gonna flip them. So you get to look at the family and the other people need to look at the community. So you get to look at each other's. Not for major renovations or whatever, revisions, but you know, are you comfortable with it? Well, if there's a major revision that needs to be made, we'll make it, but I'm not anticipating that. And so that we get comfortable with both. And then we'll stop and set the dates that the stuff is gonna go out. We have all of the skinny on the, and Lindy has been able to simplify the process of actually mailing out the postcards, so she'll share that then. And we'll figure out when we want them mailed and when we want them back, because the when we want them back needs to be on the postcard. So we have to kind of commit to that. The family one is much easier because that is on the stroke of a button from Lindy's office, basically. So that can go out.
We're not going to send it by pigeon.
Pardon?
We're not going to do pigeon there.
Sometimes. It feels like that's necessary. Don't disagree with you there.
So when that goes out, we will have decided here how many days we want to give families to get it back. You know, is it 10 days, is it 2 weeks, whatever. And then, and so then that will really be all we have to do with the family survey. And then we'll look at, in the very beginning when we were looking at possible questions, before we started putting them in a survey, there was that section on curriculum questions that we didn't get to. It got too late. So we'll do those quickly. There's 7 or 8. And then look at the ones that people had identified in that grid that they thought ought to be on the staff list. And then we can put that together fairly quickly. And that one, Lindy and I were talking about that would be great to have out by May, but she's in a position where we could finalize that on our May 1st meeting, and then she could give staff time to actually do it on the 6th, on Tuesday the 6th. So that's like in and out. So that then we have all their data on the 6th. So for all intents and purposes, we will have close to a month, if not a full month, to be looking at the data before we have to do the report. So back that up, so that's probably more like 3 weeks because the report has to be written. But, so we'll go over that, and then in the end, we really have to talk about the meeting 2 weeks from now, because originally we had put it in, it was vacation. Lindy's not in, Mary's not in, I'm not in, and I don't know what other people's situations are. We will have family survey, if not some community, we might have some community. There will be some data that folks can look at. But whether people want to access that at home and jot down their own ideas and then bring them in on the first, and we'll really tackle it or how we want to do that. But we'll figure that out before we leave today. Because we put that in, remember, it was vacation week and we decided to put it in and then just kind of deal with it when it came. But I think we're in pretty good shape. Fun part's about to start. Questions? All right.
Yeah, where do you get these?
But I had to go out and buy myself a bag of those.
They're so good.
They are.
I ended up going to get a bag.
I mistakenly ate a bunch of them right before I went to bed. And about an hour later, I was like, oh, that was not very smart. Where are the Tums? But no, they're addictive. So, Lindy, did you bring your computer?
Yeah, it's charging,
Oh.
so I can, but I just need to sit
Yeah.
with my computer.
We can sit right here.
Is there, in terms of our group and going
Yeah.
through the survey, do we have it? We don't have it in our copy, we're
No, we
looking
don't.
at it.
Which
So
one?
make the changes that,
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the other thing that, and you could bring this up, is that one of the suggestions I was going to make around the family survey was when I went down and looked at it question to question to question, that maybe it needs sections, topics, because sometimes going from one question to the next is sometimes this huge leap, and it's like, well, why are we asking
Having a
this?
clear understanding before you start reading the question.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there is there's an intro. We had written an intro for the community. I cut and pasted it into the family survey.
Right.
And it needs some tweaking. If you don't like it, we'll change it. But yeah. So I kind of need you in your original groups.
I wasn't here last week.
Groups we had last week. Do you want to join us in family since Donna's not
Yeah,
here?
because
Megan's not here too. Both when Megan's not here. Or how do you want to?
Were both Donna and Megan with you?
No, Donna was with me and Megan.
Megan was with us, yeah.
Megan was with us.
Right. Okay. I was like, I didn't think both of them were. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Because it looks like it, no. That's what you, what are you suggesting, Lindy? I don't know.
Well, originally I was like, she could just jump into family because Donna's not here, but Megan's also not here.
Is she not coming?
No.
She's not able to come. There was some mix-up on pickup for her daughter.
Oh, shoot, okay.
So,
You need to ride back to Reggie.
Yeah,
are you a
Get dropped.
Rochester resident or a Stockbridge resident?
Stockbridge. But I can also
I don't think there's an arrow.
so we worked on the community survey last time, so which one should, I thought we were going to be looking at the family survey.
You're starting with the community to make sure that it is what you intended it to be, make any adjustments that you need to, and then we'll flip them.
Okay.
Okay?
No, I can't stop
Flip the
eating.
groups.
Like,
So, Lindy and,
All right.
go there, Mary's going somewhere. Either place, you got your pickings.
Are you joining us?
Yeah.
Nice. Is this good or should we? We had community.
so we're going to look at the community, okay.
Yeah.
And then I'll just take notes on here, and then I'll put it, my computer's charging, so.
We got your community survey.
No, that's okay. I like that we're kind of looking at the actual survey together.
Legible for the folks that are gonna, in the other community, look at it, to see if they approve it. Who's yours up?
So this is the.
This is the result.
And I think there's one section that I can't remember.
Are you at school? What we're, it's a school computer that has to be charged.
But we weren't doing.
Well, I don't mind, but I think I'll be okay for a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Seems.
Oh, no problem. And I might even, and I did bring an extension cord too, so we'll get started, and then if I need to plug in, I will. And we might need to move a little bit.
So are you clear on what?
Our charges?
Yeah.
Yes, but we were
But
thinking.
this
we didn't
is-
have-
Well, you can take those out, see, those were in there. And then when we put the work that you did before, we took them out.
We added it
It was
in.
on, but we had not actually talked about it.
Do we know it'll take
Uh-huh,
45
true.
minutes?
So that's why they're there. So that's why I want you to look at them.
Okay,
But
so we
other
can say we're
comments,
taking.
other
So you can
comments,
say,
but the comments we made are incorporated into this?
Yeah,
Thank you.
but those are, these three questions came
Yeah.
from the work we had done before. And
Got it.
remember the last notes I had was, we would include it, but there would be fewer categories. And I go home to try to figure out what my notes say to get it down to fewer
What's the
categories.
relevance of that?
So that's
I
what it
think
ended up
it's
with.
simply that
Doesn't matter.
the other school district had that in
I just felt
because they
like-
thought that was necessary.
Yes, that was all, that was about.
But we don't.
They were asking about money and stuff like that, so they were interested just in people's ability, ability.
Three, between 1 and 10,
mean,
obviously bad.
That's one of those prefer not to
Absolutely
answer
take it.
Yeah,
always for me.
no, thank
So that's
you.
why.
Yeah, none of your business.
Yeah, no.
Mind your P's and
Totally
Q's.
fine, totally fine.
All right, so we're crossing that out.
Yeah, right? So
Yes.
I'll cross that out.
Yeah.
How?
You guys clear?
This survey was the best return for you. Like, if you're prompting people to go online and do a survey, you get more response to that, or you get more response to a return from this paper copy.
For parents, usually.
The question about this,
The writer in me gets annoyed over stuff like this. Okay, so.
And I don't think we want to give them.
So we're talking past 2017, 2024, and then whose charge would be. I guess it's not a big deal, but it would be, but now it is.
this is just a form of the
Yeah, I guess it's just explaining. So we're getting rid of,
form the district and whatnot.
yeah, Mary, we decided we're getting rid of.
Question 3. Well, let's start at question 1. I'm still confused. I guess it was my misunderstanding.
Yes.
In the community, I thought we weren't sending it out to the other communities that it's.
That's something that Lindy needs to speak to.
And I thought that you were sending out only the family because those children are in the school.
Yeah, I think that's a Lindy question.
So I really think,
But Lindy, yeah, Lindy
I
has.
really actually think we should be specific, Hancock, Granville, because this is going home and there are kids from Hancock, and Granville.
No, I recognize that.
Yeah.
Just,
So
I thought the community
Survey.
survey would
topics, so.
really be the concern of people who are paying the taxes in that community.
Agreed.
Hey, Lindy,
And that's why I questioned the other.
Gotcha.
In the community, I mean, in the
In the family.
family.
you go ask
Perfect.
Lindy. Could you just go ask Lindy what's in it?
Yes.
Lindy?
So we.
Can you help us with a
Could
question?
you come hither, please?
Come to that.
Yeah, we need to.
Please come to that.
Just need to speak a little louder, that's
Well,
all.
no, I just don't have a voice up here.
We wanted to do it.
So, go ahead, you ask.
I have a question about this. I'm a little confused.
I'm not sure if that's.
This is the community survey.
Right.
Now, why do we have to include other? Because this should pertain to the people who are footing the bill via their taxes.
Right.
And that's unfair to have an other answer
And I
questions in this
think
survey.
we had talked about the idea that,
Yeah, we were talking about doing.
that not necessarily other, but that on the family
Family
one,
is fine.
it'll
That makes
say
sense.
Granville, Hancock, like where are you a
That
resident?
should.
Right.
But this,
Should
I
be
don't,
just these
it's,
two.
the mailing list is only Rochester and
Okay,
Stockbridge.
that's fine. All right.
Does that make sense? The
Perfect.
postcard
Thank you.
is only Rochester and Stockbridge. Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, I don't have those addresses.
We got one question down.
Done. Good. So, phew, that's coming up. I am,
We said no to this one.
the age group?
Both ways, so
Again,
we need
but
to know
is that-
where
It
they
doesn't
reside
matter.
and what school.
Well,
The kids are the
Fixed
kids.
income.
well,
Or did we say that we're going to do bigger groups?
What else is it?
No, I thought we eliminated that question.
I don't know if we eliminated the age, but we
Okay.
definitely eliminated income. I might not be remembering.
Okay, we eliminated.
But why do we
income.
want to know age? Do we want to know age?
Let's not, I mean, if we don't.
Do we need to?
No, because if you have children, you have children, whether you're 15 or even 60.
Truth. So we're
Okay.
getting rid of that?
Yep, and I'll get rid of income.
Yep. So questions 1, 2, and 3 are gone.
Yeah.
All right, RSUD schools have
Yes,
done.
we added this question, that's fine.
Have
Do we
done.
keep the section? So now we've got section 2. Questions for Rochester-Stockbridge community members.
1, 2, 3.
It doesn't show up. Oh, yeah, it does. There we go. I don't think we need that section header.
No.
Discuss the whole thing that's happening in the state.
Spelling or grammar issue. RSUD schools have done a good job of creating a unified community. So the word have has to be added. Are you right there in the survey?
Yeah.
Mark only one oval.
I haven't responded.
I'm just good for big X's.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, I'm like, that's not.
Do a good job of communicating upcoming events with the community at large. There would be a period at the end of that.
Stockbridge, Rochester.
Yeah.
One period coming up.
Okay?
Okay.
And then you could have other.
Add a period to that.
Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not.
Add a period to that. And are you changing the number, or did it already adjust when you got rid of the first?
These don't have numbers.
Oh, good.
It's just when you print it.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Your printer settings.
So it doesn't,
So wait, I'm satisfied with our town school facility. Okay, great.
would it be our or my towns?
I think community.
I think my town.
My, get rid of our and say my.
Yes.
School facility.
That question.
Facilities,
And that, I think we'll go through.
I think it's
1,
facilities
2,
as well.
3.
Shouldn't it just be more generic there? And what I mean by generic, 'cause I'm very sensitive to the
You think 4 would get our community or?
divide between the two towns that still exists. So when you say your town's school, shouldn't it be
I'm satisfied with our school facilities
our
and
school
grounds.
facilities, right?
Yeah,
And not be specific.
our school facilities, okay, that makes sense, I hear what
I
you're
don't mean to be
saying.
picky, but
No, that's totally fine, no, but it's like, you're excluding the divisive language, right?
However, is it important to know if it's one school or the other in terms of the
We'll know
board
when we
taking
see, because they would
action?
have they would have checked.
But they
the
might think of
box.
our schools, if they're living in Rochester, they might think that they need to weigh in on Stockbridge as well. If it's our school, because it's one school with 2 campuses.
Yeah.
but they have the right to do that because we vote as a school district.
Right. I'm not questioning that. I'm saying if they might be satisfied with Rochester, but not Stockbridge or vice versa. And I don't know, for the board, is that important information in terms of
But you'll know where they sent it from
actions?
anyway. So I get this generic thing and I say no. And one of your first questions are,
Which town you're from?
which town are you from?
But
So
if
I
I'm-
know.
Well,
Not just for the
but,
students. I think
so you're saying that nobody in Rochester would think
I
of
think it's a
Stockbridge as part of their school?
I don't
Not
think
at the
so.
moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment, they don't.
Okay,
I don't get that take.
okay.
No.
Yeah,
All right, so we're saying our school facilities and grounds.
Yes,
Yeah, just
change.
again,
Let's get rid of the word towns and change it to facilities.
I am satisfied with our school facilities and grounds. Okay.
Jeez, put a period at the end of that one.
Yeah.
the teacher in the
Yep,
news.
sorry.
No, that's fine. As long as you don't use red ink, I'm good.
Oh, I know. Not outside, I teach outside.
Well, when I was a kid, that's what the
Yeah,
teachers always
it looks like
used.
blood. Yeah. Let's change it.
You really did. Plays with your psyche.
Informed about the school budget and other school items on the annual school district budget ballot.
Period.
I am informed, I feel informed.
Sufficiently informed.
I feel informed and understand the school budget
That I am informed
and understand
and
school budget and other items on the.
Should be directed to the board. That the board does a good job in keeping me informed. Or is that too?
Then we're getting it.
Or am I getting too,
I do so much for
I
this.
don't want to go into troubled water. I don't want to put the onus on the board, but at the end of the day, the board is the one responsible to ensure that the communication and what's going on with the school and the budgets and any other non-school business is well communicated to the community.
I don't know that we have to say that it's the board's responsibility as much.
Just a question.
Yeah, no. I feel informed and understand the school budget and other school items on the annual school district budget ballot.
So what I'm looking at is, I feel that I am informed and I understand.
Feel that I am? It's an extra word. That I am.
Leave it up to me.
I mean, open-ended.
The MFA in me says, get rid of that I am. I feel informed and understand.
I'm trying to get away from.
The I is kind of implied once you say I initially. School items in the annual school budget ballot. I think the school district budget ballot is wordy. Is there a way to trim that down? On the budget ballot, on the school budget ballot, get rid of the word district. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, it just feels,
Less is more.
usually. I'm aware of education.
Are we avoiding asking?
Can you tell me what you have again? I
Yes,
feel
of
I am
course.
informed and understand the school
I
budget.
feel
I
informed.
think we left this kind of open.
I feel informed
As like, talk about your experience.
and understand the school budget and other school items on the annual school budget ballot.
About, and other items on the annual school
Yeah,
budget.
get rid of school items, just other items, yeah, thank you, because it was so wordy with the school.
Extracurricular activities.
On the annual school
Do
budget
you want to look
ballot.
at it?
No, I think I got it. I feel informed and understand the school budget and other items on the annual school budget ballot.
Yep.
We have another topic, culture and
Yeah.
staff collaboration, so professional development workshops.
Should we get rid of the first word, school?
District mentorship
I feel
programs.
informed and understand the budget and other items on the annual school budget ballot. Because the word school doesn't have to be in there. The word school was in the sentence 3
All right, and
times.
then number three,
Let's get it down to
community
1.
engagement events, so
right?
inter-school
I feel informed and understand
The
the,
budget and other items on the annual school budget ballot.
and cultural nights.
Yeah?
Service and volunteer projects.
perfect.
Do a volunteer for
I'm
whatever.
aware
I think
of
that's awesome.
educational reforms currently discussed by the
Yeah. or
You mean
projects,
currently being
projects.
pushed through by the Vermont legislature?
Parent and community
Sorry.
involvement,
Should just say state legislature.
which is like
That's really
establishing
the way
joint
to do it.
parent
yeah.
teacher association
Yep.
or forum.
There's a period needed at the end of that as well.
4, administrative.
Just a period, we should check at the end to make sure we have periods at the end of everyone.
Administrative.
I'm aware of
policy
educational
development,
reforms
leadership
currently being
collaboration,
discussed
Shared resources.
by the
unified
Vermont,
communication
by the state
platform.
legislature.
That's it. I think that's
Wait, what was the last one?
And you're right, it should be currently.
unified
Currently
community platform.
being discussed.
Develop
Change
joint-
made.
so develop
Okay.
joint newsletters,
And a period.
websites.
Yeah.
As a community member, I'm interested in knowing more about the
Oh, so
following
you're gonna do like a
topics.
joint newsletter?
School
It is
shapes,
the joint
events,
newsletter already.
updates on test scores.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
Only because I don't have the right one.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have a platform that's
We
like.
might have.
I should have asked, I'm sorry.
No.
No, I should have.
About the beginning,
Yeah.
training on
I'm looking at
What I
these,
don't like is.
wondering if there's ways to, not this one, but
I think
to-
these you got to set back.
those are gonna be rough.
I'll be because it
They're
bogs
tackling it over
down,
there.
I look at it
that
all the
bogs
time.
down
I
data
shouldn't doubt
collection.
it, but
Yeah,
I
no, it's really,
just-
it does.
Website.
I think the next question is fine.
And it also invites a lot of rabbit holes. Because tone and attitude, right, absolutely.
Before.
Absolutely, and their attitude of the day, or
I agree.
the bias they bring to the table, or whatever, you know, all of which are legitimate,
It's the
but
same thing they do with AI. And AI is a prerequisite. It's human. It's
exactly, exactly. Ariette, what are ways for you to receive information?
What are ways for you to receive?
Is it, should be preferred?
What are your preferred ways? Your preferred.
Right. How do you prefer to receive information from the school district?
PREFERRED. 3 R's?
Everything should be.
I'm looking at that word and I'm
What's that?
preferred.
PREFERRED, looks right.
Yes. That is right. You should spell check.
And it doesn't spell check in Google form.
I think it's double R.
Double R.
I don't have my phone with me, so.
I do.
I'm pretty sure you got that.
So.
Ways to receive, all right. What are your preferred ways? Not for you, but what are your preferred ways to receive information? Or how do you prefer to receive
Right, that's what I
information?
said. Just
Yeah.
simple.
How do you prefer? And then we don't have to worry about preferred. Anyway, although I'm curious.
Yeah, number 4.
We should go after 5.
We do communication?
Yeah.
Right, we need communication?
Yeah.
And
So it might need to, maybe this one moves, I don't know. Like,
But the initiative, what would this fall under?
I don't know.
2 hours.
But maybe
Number
5
Yeah, that's-
doesn't go.
You were right.
Or 6 and
Yeah.
7.
Although apply school website, Facebook page, Herald, radio,
One more
USPS,
page.
Yeah, so let's do
emails, and posters.
communication.
Should be, I don't.
Circle 5.
And I would say, call this right, leave me alone.
What, is it town clerk / forum
I would say
6.
front porch forum.
as an additional option, or is that connected to the town clerk?
I would say it's another option down here.
7, okay, and then
How do you prefer
Then-
to receive information? You're the best.
maybe 11 would be communication.
How do you prefer to receive school information?
School items.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Regarding the school district.
I have skills and talents.
Capital improvement should
Let's
be
get rid of
another
that. I
topic.
can share. I have skills and talents I can share.
This is-
That
yeah,
was just an
yeah,
extra word.
Facilities, and then
Please
this would
include
be
name.
number 12,
Okay.
13,
I thought we were going to eliminate all of these
14.
Blank, fill in the
answers,
blank
and they were
ones.
going to do something like a general statement at the end,
The future of our
and it limited to X amount of
Yeah,
characters.
We did say that.
Or,
But I could be mistaken.
strategic planning.
I think that's what we said,
Yeah.
What's that?
that we wanted to just eliminate some of these fill in the blanks. But I have skills and talents I can share.
Okay,
We got rid
got
of
it,
that,
yeah.
right? Okay.
But I don't think we want to do any of this.
This is an opportunity.
See, this is the one question that should be asked. I'm not saying ask exactly this way, but that's the question.
That's, yeah, and that's a similar question. Those two questions, those last two are the same on other surveys, so then we can compare those.
I think this is an opportunity. People don't have to fill it in,
Oh,
but it
right,
is an opportunity.
yeah.
Okay, I'm just, again, trying to cut down
I
the
hear you.
data.
Yes, but we do want to get
that
people
initial
to
thing can kind of go in
sign up and volunteer.
this thing category. And it talks about like
The first one is definitely an opportunity for that.
years.
Any in contact with the skill. Forgot to include it in here.
Future
So-
strategies? I don't know.
Educational, education. Experience.
Yeah, student experience, I like that. Very positive.
Can we somehow make it into a simple question? And not ask them what their skill is at this point, just ask, would you be interested in sharing your skills?
Start at the beginning to make sure you have.
So rather than say what the skill actually
It's
is.
either yes, or sure, just trying to, and then it can be a follow-up. If you get a positive response, you send them a phone letter saying, we know that during the survey, a lot of you communicated to us that you'd like to share your skills.
It's been really helpful for me, the person that's following up on the RSUD survey, to have this question where they can put their information in or contact me directly as it is, because it saves a step.
Okay.
Yep, I like it. But, so you want the skill
But we could
included?
but I'd like the question instead if you think that's better.
So yeah, this one, I feel like there's a few,
So if they're interested, they input their contact information?
Yeah, or they contact me directly.
I think so.
And we had,
Yeah.
So you can just do it that way. It's just that, I don't know.
maybe if you have skills and talents that you would like to share.
Right, but you take it a step further. You take it right to the, you know, the heart of the matter is that you making them give you their contact information.
Yeah.
And
That's the problem.
maybe they're not comfortable doing that yet. Now the Pete kind of goes, "Man, maybe I wouldn't be. Let's see."
9?
If you prefer, okay,
Personal.
maybe more of a general, softer, like if you're interested.
Yeah, I was just trying to put it into like a multiple choice concept. Where strongly, just like
Yeah, that's what I was.
that's up to, you know, the committee.
I don't feel strongly either way, but I know Mary's the one that's receiving it, so.
Yeah, so.
But you
let's
got
hear
rid of the
your
word
input.
that, that's the
Yeah,
only thing.
and I'm
I
gonna
care
move
about.
it to the end,
Okay, perfect.
because it's more of a, like, something that they might be like, nope, I'm gonna just end the survey now.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Question 15, is there anything else that you would like us to know? Get rid of the word that again. Such an extraneous word. Anything else you would like to know about current successes of the unified district? And on 16, again, there's another that we want to get rid of. Anything else you would like us to know about desires, improvement, ideas, strategies?
15 and 16 are redundant.
Let us have it.
Well, one is, what are our successes?
Kind.
And what are our improvements? So it's saying like, what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong, basically,
I'll give you that.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's the distinction between those two.
Yeah. A scroll.
Don't worry, my name is on there, they'll find a way.
Sleep every night.
This sounds weird. Thank you for taking the time to fill out the survey and providing us on your perspective on these matters. That doesn't sound right. Thank you for taking the time to fill out the survey and providing us with your perspective on these matters.
Why do you have to include that?
A thank you?
Just, no.
Just thank you for taking the
Thank you for
time.
to fill out the survey.
Yeah, period.
Be done.
Yep. Get rid of the providing blah blah.
Yeah.
That's extraneous.
11 is communication.
Thank you for taking the time to fill out this survey. If you would like to see the results of the survey, keep an eye out for the community, blah, blah, blah.
It's all drag and drop.
We've said thank you twice, so let's get rid of the
Is it
second.
gonna be spring or summer?
Spring needs to be first.
In the end, we say thank you. If you'd like to,
Some harder.
you know, keep your eye out for our community engagement task force report to the school board this summer instead of this spring.
Just kind of.
So just how about just the school board? If you would like to see the results, keep an eye out, blah, 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 to the school board, period. Get rid of this spring, this summer, and then don't say thank you a second time.
You could say they meet, you could put down that they meet,
It's in June.
you know, right, so the report is in June, but that they meet, what is it, first Tuesday or something of every month?
I don't remember when.
You can just say the results of the survey are available
That's a
upon
good idea.
request.
That's a good opportunity.
To remind what it is.
Yeah.
So, thank you for time to fill out the survey, period. Then we got rid of and providing us, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
If you would like to see the results, keep an eye out for the community, blah, 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 school board, period. And then get rid of that second.
Yep.
Yep.
Already done.
And you got rid of the that up there.
Yeah.
You're so on it.
Desire. I'll double
First
check.
Monday of the month,
Anything else?
all months but July. First Monday of the month.
First
That's
Monday.
why I
I
think
wonder if.
You can't put a location because I think they probably go back.
Yeah, month,
They're that interested in
I
coming.
don't know what it is.
except for July, other than July,
Well, we
except
don't
for
need
July.
names, but it'd be good to have a clear sense like, hey, our second grader is going, we live in Rochester, our second grader is going to Stockbridge, but our fourth grader is going.
And maybe in the response, you know how you get, in your settings, you can put a response in that'll go to
We're
their
obviously
email.
doing something wrong.
Say that.
or maybe
In
not,
the
but-
settings,
Or maybe that's just the
there's
beauty of
a
having-
default
Or is it just because they like?
where it automatically sends a response.
We have more.
And,
After you fill it out. I like
Yeah.
that. I've done surveys where they tell me I filled it out.
and then I wonder if that's a time for me to get my email,
But that's what I wanna know, is it, to me,
because
it's a good thing, like,
then
they're
it's right there.
recognizing that
Because
once
if they're filling out a survey and then they gotta write an email,
it's like, well,
Yeah,
maybe
do it, if you
essentially
can put it in the
that,
settings, so
or
it
is
pops through.
and then,
Right, no.
yeah,
You know,
unless
so,
that whole
I don't
question,
know,
but maybe
but
people
asking
won't pay
that, that's going
attention.
to help understand, or
Right,
it's
like
going to
the
at
whole
least
question
allow the board
could
to
come
say,
up
hey,
in
we
their
need to
automated
understand why.
response
You can also.
about if you have talents and skills you'd like to share.
I think it's okay where it is.
Okay,
I think it's okay where it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But you were gonna put it last anyway, right?
yes.
Or what we do,
Because right now we have it as like Rochester.
does your students attend this, or both?
Like it could be
And
checked
then, yeah.
Are we
then
gonna
you should
collect
have
email
maybe
addresses?
Another follow-up question, that is, if your student isn't attending.
Anonymity goes out the window when you do that.
So-
That's your call.
I'm just going through the settings,
No, I'm
making sure
just
our
saying,
settings
you know.
are right.
Yeah,
We good?
but that
Is it
would
a
be good to know.
confidential
I mean,
survey?
even though,
We're
yeah,
not
we can
collecting
do it
the
at home, and you're
community
going to be that we need to go
emails.
through, but it's gonna
That's
give us a clear reading on why.
It's not a quiz.
Why they made
Are
that
we
decision.
sending them? No, because that's off.
Yeah.
They can't edit.
I think that would be helpful for the board.
Limit to one response.
Yeah.
Hacker getting in there and editing. all that.
Oh my
Presentations.
gosh.
Do we
Right.
want to show a progress bar at the bottom?
Or
Sure.
Oh, those are good.
Those are
Okay.
good.
Yeah, you know where you are in the process.
Oh, all this eyewash you guys love, it's amazing.
Yeah, no,
I just know
that's
that,
good.
yeah, I don't think we need to have
survey.
it, but
I've done this one before for other
Yeah, yeah.
that were accepted into this particular
Yeah,
program.
yeah.
It took me an hour and 10
yeah.
To do the survey?
to do this.
And was this for something important?
Well, it was really important to the person that I was doing it for.
Because I would be like 5 minutes into this, survey patience has ended, I'm out.
Yeah, no.
It's always dangerous when they say, if you'd like to save and finish later, you know, it's like, oh, this is bad. But no real indication of how long it's gonna take.
I'm more
For obvious
than
reasons, because
The years that I spent as a kindergarten teacher, they have a kindergarten survey with data about every single student, like 100 questions for each kid.
Wow.
I used to have to take half a day just to sit and fill out the survey
Like doing
for each
it
kid.
during the school year.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, who does what with this
Yeah, that's
information?
the other question.
So many questions.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I
Are they
was,
still allowed to do that?
or when they're due on a
I
Friday,
don't
and
know.
they're
I
like,
haven't taught kindergarten for 5 years.
No, but
but-
I'm just saying. I know, but it sounds like a violation.
Are all the
It's a lot.
questions required?
Sorry.
Say again?
Yes,
All the questions are required.
yes.
Oh, yeah, because you'll leave a,
So
prefer not to answer.
this would be, report to the school board on the first Monday of each month, other than July.
yesterday though, yeah.
I think we should just say first Monday of each
Okay,
month,
she
period.
just brought up an interesting point, and I don't know if it's important. So I'll say, should there be one more box that says prefer not to answer?
No. No.
Sort, staple.
So if they just leave it blank because they prefer not to answer, their survey won't be accepted.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, I think they are too, so I think that all that means is
I'm
we swap.
playing a little devil's
I hear
advocate
ya.
here, because that's what you try to do in these meetings
Yeah,
that we're
this is
having
what we're
now. is,
doing.
you know,
Right.
where is there a possible bug in
Front
the
load it.
system?
But why would somebody prefer not to? I could see not wanting to answer about your
I know in the beginning.
finances,
Right.
but like, the rest of it, like,
Is innocuous and you don't have to worry.
yeah. I mean,
That's fine.
Does
Yeah.
the order matter? Or is
As
it-
I said, I was
I'm
not.
putting NA as an option for, as a community member, I'm interested in learning about the following topics. If they're not interested in anything,
They could say
they
NA.
can say NA, and then it's required.
Yeah, I don't present them.
Right, if you're gonna require.
I think that makes sense, so we can
explain, we can explain the
talk, yeah, we can talk through.
And I'm going to do the same for how do you prefer to receive school information, because they might not want any information. Right?
Somebody who wants information, it's easy for them to get information. I mean,
But as a required question,
no.
you know.
You could say, if you'd like to keep better informed to what's going on in our district, please include your email address.
What's your problem?
The playground.
Except we don't really want to.
Should we have, I have
You can't
skills
get a
and,
library book in Rochester if you don't have any address.
I have skills and talents that I would like to share instead of I can share.
I would like to share, sure, but not that I would like to share.
I would like to share.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know why that's bothering me tonight. I don't usually get so upset with the word that.
That is terrible.
The ice is
Listen.
on, and I don't think, there might have been.
All right, I think we're good.
They didn't seem to.
It seems short. This survey,
It should be shorter because we kept whittling it down.
we did whittle it down.
Required open-ended, so the three conversations, is that a required?
Question to answer? No.
Yeah.
What's that?
So the
You
open-ended
can also say no
questions.
anyway, if you don't want to.
Well, it's, right, I hear you.
Okay.
So the open-ended questions not required or required?
Yeah, and my best friend.
Is there
Shouldn't be
anything
required.
else you'd like us
You
to
can make
know?
those pages not required by the system. That's the best thing to do.
Well, it's,
Because
is there anything else you'd like to know?
and if it's, they can type it
Maybe
in.
they can't think of anything.
Yeah, so I don't want to make those
You
required.
should do a character limit though,
Okay.
because you don't want to get novels.
I'm like,
How do we get rid of this set?
I don't know. Got it.
Doesn't have the heat comes on.
All right, we're good.
Good? Great.
This must have like smoked into the concrete slab as a whole. I think we can get surf pro in here.
They put in there actually, because that's part of where the,
Maybe it's the drain.
It's intense.
did you make updates there? Should I reprint yours?
Do you hear what we're talking about?
No, I wasn't, sorry, I was just laughing at the wasabi piece.
No, just how the kids' bathroom just smells like pee all the time.
Oh, gosh.
It just won't, it's permanently there.
Time to break up the
Especially if you have little boys, just saying. Time to break up the concrete. Henry got soaking wet today in the
It's
water.
like day 2 of this week that he, those pants that he came home in when he got sap all over him from the tree. They were like this much shorter, but we had to go right to rock climbing after, and so they were pulled up even higher.
Christiana was like, I don't have anything.
I mean, my attitude is if you're clean, you're bored. It's really good if you're bored.
I told that backpack because he hasn't used them.
It's true.
No one was backpack.
Right, because of all the things.
Gross stuff.
I mean, I'm always having a good time.
Filthy old thing.
Look at me.
Life
And
is
I
cute.
just want the cleaning one down, I'll go get it.
Oh, thank you for that. Doing, oh, she's gone. I was gonna say.
Here's the one that they're going to present on.
Okay. Oh,
And, oops, not you.
Not me.
Oops, and she went to get the other one, okay. All right, well then, when we're done with this part, we're,
options tab? Yes. I don't know that.
You feel good about where you are? With the one you're working on?
Yeah.
Steve, how are you?
Did we get the
I
deadline?
actually like the first two questions.
Yes.
Those are really good to
Okay.
get right to the point. It's very factual.
I like how bold, like, see how they bolded this? 3 to 5 now? Underlined.
If it takes you longer than 5 minutes though, you're going to feel bad.
Yeah, you set up your timer. Go.
I was like, we really want to test it.
I can go in.
20 minutes later.
Thanks, Wendy. You're welcome.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys did great.
Community survey first?
okay, this is, Doug suggested that they present so they could talk a little bit about their thought process. This is mostly a listening exercise, unless you have, something to add to make it better, or you have a question, rather than anyway, we need to do this efficiently, but if if it's a legitimate thing to hash out, we'll take the time to do that, but we need to do this pretty efficiently. There shouldn't be a lot of controversy when we want to do
Okay. Maybe.
it. And I'm not looking, I'm looking at it on here.
Well.
All right.
Budget update or something, right?
Of course.
I don't know what that is. We're testing my tech skills.
Better put out a survey.
Can the principal use the Promethean board? No. No, don't go pro.
Katie, I read your quotes in the local paper.
Yeah. That's what's happening right now. They're voting on it.
I'm really thrilled about the way that went down.
What's the issue?
Pittsfield adopted a 1% options tax on meals, rooms, and alcohol. What? Yeah. But the select board presented it at town meeting, and none of the businesses knew that it was something to be voted on.
Oh my goodness.
So we just had to petition for a vote.
Yes, hello.
Yeah. So we just got all of our signatures in today.
Change plan?
Huh?
Change
It's
plan?
coming. We'll have to go with what we got going on.
Nothing comes easy anyway.
That's why I was at the Clear last night. I was like campaigning to get my final signatures. Henry and I literally walked into the Clear. I was like, don't touch anything, don't look at anything, and then we walked right out.
Sign.
Perfect place to get people.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Oh, it's coming.
It's just slow.
Oh, there it is.
It's got its own brain
Sorry.
synapse. On a Thursday evening, Steve.
I can't believe they didn't think that, I mean, that was a very intentional thing, to not consult with businesses.
Yeah. There's someone on the select board that owns a business in town, and I think they just assumed that their voice spoke for all businesses.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
They're trying to do their best. They're trying to do their best, but just something that should be like discussed further.
Did we just go through a time work, like back in time, 11 and 2 a.m. on March 13th?
I'm sure they
Welcome back.
So it's like every short-term rental, so it's like all the Airbnbs and stuff are impacted. But to me, it's like our town, it makes sense if you're like a Manchester or Stowe, like that's a huge tourism draw, but like there really is no tourism draw. And so to penalize people even further for coming to Pittsfield and spending their money and their time, like feels short-sighted for very small returns. But also they believe in, it's not like a direct impact on property taxes, it's just a line item on the budget, yeah.
Okay,
Which one?
who's taking the lead here?
Community.
That's what I have.
Patrick or Doug? Okay, who's taking the lead?
In what regard?
We're gonna go over the,
Oh, you're the family.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, well, I can. I don't know anything about it.
I would look at the questions speak for themselves. If you feel there's something that needs to be added or you're not pleased with the question, comment.
Yeah, let's go through.
Let's go back up. Do we want to bold, I guess that's the question I have. On both surveys, do we want to bold 3 to 5 minutes? Because on the other survey, it's bolded. We want to be consistent.
have you taken it? Is it 3 to 5 minutes?
We sat here and
I'd say 5 to 10.
I'd say this one is short.
ours is pretty brief.
Okay.
We can actually time it. Should
Yeah,
I
do
put
you
my
wanna go ahead
timer?
and
Yeah.
Are you doing it, Katie?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And ready, set,
Okay, well, she's taking it, everybody eat peas.
publish.
Me.
Are you gonna unpublish in a minute?
Yep.
Oh, no, the news is out.
All right.
Here we go.
I am a resident of Stockbridge or Rochester.
Okay.
The RSUD, the schools have done a good job of creating a unified community.
Thinking, yeah, I agree.
The schools do a good job of communicating upcoming events with the community at large.
Agreed.
I am open to the RSUD board exploring restructuring our schools if it expands educational and social opportunities for our students, i.e. classroom grade levels, etc.
I don't know.
Disagree. Don't know. I am satisfied with our school facilities and grounds.
Disagree.
I am aware that I can access both campuses as a rental site for private activities.
Yeah, wow, that's great.
I feel informed and understand the budget and other items on the annual school budget ballot.
Oh, I gotta read that again.
Right. I feel informed and understand the budget and other items on the annual school budget ballot.
I don't understand it, but I feel like it's there.
Yeah,
I can't wrap my head
I
around it.
agree.
Is it too complicated a question? We can rework. Let's
No,
rework.
meaning like the stuff on the
Well,
ballot is.
I feel informed, but also understanding are two different things, right? Like, I feel like,
Two questions.
like, the information is available, but I don't understand.
So maybe it should just
How
be
about
two
I
questions.
understand?
Like, all of that.
Okay, we do need to know both those things, so we should probably change it into
Two
two
questions.
questions.
Just make it 2 questions.
Yeah.
Correct. I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, so we'll do that then.
Okay,
Yes, Mary? Mary's on it,
I'm duplicating it.
working it.
cool.
Okay, I am aware of educational reforms currently being discussed by the Vermont legislature. Currently being pushed through by the Vermont legislature, but I didn't say that out loud. Did I? All right, how do you feel? You feel informed?
I'm just curious why,
Are you aware?
how you agree and then strongly agree, or I am aware of the educational reforms. Are you asking if
You
they just,
are or you aren't?
are they,
Right.
that they know of it or that they agree
Oh my
with
gosh.
it? I guess,
I'm aware,
Yes or no, right?
Yeah.
so we have to change that answer to yes or no. Yeah, thank you. This is why we look at each other's things, because like,
Right.
right? It makes
yeah,
sense.
no, like, I feel like the strongly agree is like making me think, oh, do I agree with the reform
So just
or do
take
I
out-
not?
So it's a yes or no?
Yeah, I think it's just a yes or no.
Well, don't know
You
could
got that,
also
Mary?
apply.
Or don't know.
Don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yes, no, don't know. You're on that, Mary?
On it.
Okay. As a community member, I am interested in learning more about the following topics. School-sanctioned events, i.e. arts, community building, PTO, and athletic events. Updates on test scores for the district. Budget information. Agency of Education and legislative updates from Montpelier. Student and staff awards. Grant opportunities of interest available to the school. Volunteer opportunities. Community conversations related to the operation and success of the schools. Other. NA.
I like
That's
that.
a choose any and
That
all.
is a good
or
list.
Either choose all.
Yeah, can you pick one?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh, choose all.
It does say check all that apply on the sheet.
Yeah.
So it's set up to be able to, I
Yep,
believe,
it's,
right?
yep, it's not.
How do you prefer to receive school information? School website, Rochester-Stockbridge Facebook page, The Herald, radio, USPS mail, emails and posts from town clerk, front porch forum, NA.
We had robocalls also.
Ah,
Pigeon
They're not
mail?
the
Pigeon mail?
community.
I go
Doesn't have
NA,
to
I don't want to be bothered with anything, leave me alone.
Pigeon mail. Yeah.
is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
What about like community conversations, like town meeting and stuff like that? Like, is that,
School board meetings?
yeah, like,
So add that in.
Yeah.
Public meeting, but
yeah.
Public forum for school board.
Okay.
Yes.
WRVS, sorry.
Which is the school board.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Not town meeting?
No, because this is for the school district.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
WRVS, go ahead. No, I was just moving on to the next question. Okay. WRVSU hosts community conversations at our schools. What would you like to talk about?
Is that something that folks are really familiar with, or would it be helpful to say, has hosted community conversations at our schools on topics like blah, 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 blah?
Yeah, like give an
Would you
example.
like, yeah,
It'd be
give
good
an
to have-
idea of what people talk about?
I think one of them was like technology.
Yeah.
I think if you just use like the most recent one, like the digital,
The digital awareness or whatever?
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
because we advertise that most recently.
Are you on that, Mary?
I'm on
Okay,
it.
all right. Is there anything else you would like us to know about current successes of the unified district? Is there anything else you would like us to know about desires and improvement ideas, strategies of the unified district? I have skills and talents I would like to share.
On this one, it's Mary, on yours,
Which probably makes sense.
it's probably appropriate.
Please include your name, contact information, and skill below. If you prefer not to include your name here, please contact Mary Shell, WRVSU Community School Coordinator, directly at mshell@wrvsu.org. And we were saying we wanted to keep like a limit to the amount of words people can type and characters that we can type, so that we don't end up with
the short answer ones?
That's what
But it depends on what you, the people who are going to read this data, how sympathetic are you towards them? I mean, you want to keep it to 500 characters?
We're the ones reading.
That's what I'm just saying, you know, you
Have
can,
you looked at those questions to see if there isn't a way to phrase them with choices?
With a multiple
or no?
choice.
And I think it's too hard to do
it is. We,
too
and we
broad a
really would like to
question.
know, people are going to come up with things that you wouldn't even expect. probably.
Exactly, yeah.
And with the art,
What we might end up having to do is spending, 45 minutes to an hour where people are working individually on
Yeah.
these questions, pulling out the appropriate data.
Right.
'Cause you're right.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
making
hardest-
topics based on
That's
them.
the hardest stuff to pull the data from, you're absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah.
but
It can be done.
with the RSUD survey, we only had 1 or 2 long responses.
Yeah.
And it was set for long paragraph or paragraph responses, and we
Yeah.
only had 2, I think, that
Yeah.
ran down the sheet.
Only have one thing to talk about. Anyway,
Okay.
okay, so.
How long did that take?
How are you feeling about their work?
6 minutes? That was 6 minutes?
Ready to roll?
So we should say instead of,
5 to 10.
right, so 5
May
to 10.
2nd, you had a return
In
date?
bold.
Is that May 2nd work? Is that the proper?
May
We haven't
2nd,
talked about, maybe we should talk about that right
the
now.
date.
Lindy, can you talk about the postcard stuff?
So the postcard, once we send it to the printer, it'll take like a week and a half. So we're looking like it could go out. I pulled the calendar for this reason. Where are we? So we sent the postcard tomorrow. It could potentially go out right before vacation.
Around the 15th?
Right around there.
Yeah.
Be
And
in-
then back
be
May-
in their
May
hands
2nd,
by
that's
then.
probably right.
Right.
Oh, you're saying, gotcha.
Well, get mailed out. So I'm saying that it could probably, if we're realistic about the mail, right?
Mhm.
Probably like the 21st, that everybody could have it at the latest. So that gives people about 2 weeks with the May 2nd deadline to close it.
Yeah.
The good thing about this particular way of doing the survey is that we get the data as it comes in. We don't have to wait until the end date and then download everything. So we have a meeting on the 1st, which will be looking at some of the data that's already in. And so we'll have everything but 1 day on that. We'll also have whether we can keep tabs on it and put, maybe it's that this goes out in the postcard, and once we know it's in people's hands, then somebody posts it on Front Porch Forum or something reminding people, that kind of thing, that just kind of continues to push them through. And the Herald, you had talked about putting something in the
Yeah,
Herald.
I have a question just about the mechanics. So the postcards that we send out is going to include a website?
QR code.
Yeah,
Okay, QR code, whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, people who don't use technology, that are going to want to either pick it up or have it mailed, how do you adjust for the time frame in your 10-day period to get it returned?
Right now, let me
That was my question.
Ignore
Good
all the
question.
tabs.
Long-winded.
Yeah, really good. No, that's really important.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, you have way more tabs than I do.
What if,
Just ignore.
I thought I was bad.
That's my to-do list. Just ignore. It's a lot
great.
less than it was.
I feel so much
earlier.
better about myself.
what if you, because they would be going out, a person would be touching the
These don't have the
the
right.
surveys that were going out, right? Because people would be requesting them. Could we agree that they needed to be back a week later or 10 days later if you got rather than a hard date?
Well, you have to first have a mechanism on the card that has a cutoff date for them to respond to you.
Right.
So-
May 2nd, that makes sense.
Right, so I don't know when they're going to receive the card, but right, so that's, please notify someone by May 2nd that you need it mailed to you.
I would
Or pick it up at the town.
Yeah, I feel like we should just, rather than be mailing that to them, having a pickup, a place they can pick it up.
It's just housebound people
Town clerk.
excluded then.
Yeah.
And
the
at the
community.
schools?
And do we say that in the postcard?
So we could say,
Rather than
if
have.
you would prefer a paper copy, you may pick one up at any of the following locations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that makes more sense.
But you
Because then they can
exclude-
still.
You exclude anyone who's housebound.
Yeah, yeah.
Can they return it to the
Or
same
call,
location?
call the school and arrange to have one.
You can pick one up.
Or call the clerk to arrange a pickup.
Right.
Why don't you just say, or you can pick one up at the town office or contact Erica
Okay.
if you're housebound.
No, but then, now how my brain's
And then they
thinking,
could
though,
put something in
like,
the-
are we going to
just-
have a pile of them, or like waste that paper, or,
And with a return envelope is how we did it.
what's that?
We had a return envelope with the
Built
survey.
into the paper.
No, I know, but it's like, how many people are going to do that? Should we have a stack for the clerk, or are we relying on the clerk to print them individually?
That won't happen with you.
Print them.
clerk.
I know, yeah, I know it won't happen with our clerk, I'm well
I
aware
have
of that.
a simple rule in business, and that's the KISS rule, keep it simple, stupid. So supply the surveys.
And then it's there, and
Okay.
somebody can pick it up.
All right, we'll have a stack of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we have them at
I
the
mean, you probably don't
schools
need more
too,
than
right?
20 of them.
You have a stack here.
At most.
Makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You just want to cover
yeah.
all the bases, that's all.
Paper copy of the survey, they can be picked up at. Either town clerk's office?
Yeah.
Or contact
Should be capitalized.
Erica.
Capital C,
Yeah.
capital T, capital
Are you saying,
Or,
are you saying either at the town clerk's office or either town clerk's offices? Do you understand my question?
I do understand that,
How about at your town clerk's office, school, or
Can we say
contact?
at either town office? Right, because it's the town office.
you could just write Stockbridge or Rochester.
Yeah, I think it should be specific to those, because it could be Granville, Hancock.
Yeah, I know, yeah, you don't want like Granville's, you don't want Granville people
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
Granville.
I went to
They-
Granville,
they
there
get
wasn't any
there.
surveys.
I
You
would
could
say
just say it could
Stockbridge.
be
Yeah,
picked up
not
at the town clerk's office.
You didn't
That's all.
specify where.
And schools.
At your
At
town.
Stockbridge or Rochester town clerk's
Just say
office?
Stockbridge.
But you would automatically assume, you just assume they would go
I
there.
or,
Pittsfield, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're. Oh, that's right, you're.
Lindy, can you
you're thinking
add and schools?
At your town clerk's office,
schools?
I mean, you-
Like,
I would say town clerk's office, comma, schools, comma, or contact.
Why, are we planning to send them to, are we planning to
That's
send
gonna
them?
be different.
Really?
Are we,
there's some people that it's just like an excuse to just hear
Come to
how things
school.
are going in the school.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, if you would prefer a paper copy of the survey, they can be picked up at your town clerk's office, schools, or contact Erica at, is that the school number?
Yeah.
And it's not they, one can be picked up.
so when you say town clerk's office, are you referring to Rochester, Stockbridge, Granville?
This isn't
Hancock?
going to Granville Hancock Community.
Understood,
Got it.
So this is your town
Understood.
clerk's office,
okay.
school.
I don't have that mailing list.
I would say school, get the S.
Yeah, take the S off of school for sure.
Is it one survey, so it should be it instead of they?
Copy this, it can be picked up.
It is
I love
better.
all these cooks, this is great.
Wrong view, I said, okay, one.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's not by March 19th, right? It's by
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
It's my birthday,
Is it?
yeah.
And I can return my 10 copies of the survey.
You'll get
You guys give them all to me.
Happy birthday. Should please complete this survey. Like,
You just see me at the printer writing out all these surveys.
please complete or return the survey by May 2nd. Right? Like if
Yeah.
they're extra
Yeah.
copy.
And return.
And just take one.
complete slash.
Please complete.
And return.
Limit one survey per person.
Somebody's gonna do like 1,000.
Is it complete
That's what I
and
said,
or
I'm just
return?
gonna,
Just keep doing it.
Didn't even think of the idea.
Just take all 20 copies from the town.
wait a second, we don't have 1,000 people in the town of Stockbridge.
What is,
I didn't know about the paper copy, so like,
what do you mean by link and QR code?
I don't know. I didn't write it.
So a link, like the actual physical Google link, like the website address, but also.
Or put a QR code, which is what you guys said you were gonna do.
Yeah, there's both up
That's,
there.
that's what it just.
Does that need to be in that sentence?
There's the
There it
We need to
is.
get back to one person at a time.
No, it's just where the QR code will go for the survey.
Does it even need to say link?
No,
in
take it
QR?
out.
Yeah, just
Usually
complete and
survey.
return the
Yeah.
survey by May 2nd.
Got it. It's up top here.
And if
the
somebody picks it up May 1st, I mean, it's gonna take 10 minutes, I did it and sort of, and it would be 10 minutes and they can stand and do it right there.
But, so
Oh,
that
where are
Keith
you gonna
doesn't stuff the
return it?
ballot box, can we get a sign-up sheet for like, or if they're doing a community survey, like, is there a way? I guess we can't, it's anonymous, right?
You can
Yeah.
explain that to the town clerk and get them to agree to actually do that extra step? Okay. Can I be in the room when you do that?
I'm not sending that.
Okay. You guys are on TV here.
We're changing the address. I mean, the date.
Okay, I'm struggling with my Canva. Oh,
So the town clerk would have the information that needs to be returned to the school, or can the folks return them to the town clerk and then, I mean, it's easy enough to pick up the phone and say, do you have any returned,
Yeah,
Yeah,
surveys, and
I
we'll
can
come
just-
down and get them.
I drive by it every day.
Did you want to change the date on the front of the postcard?
yes,
to
I'm
May
just
2nd?
struggling my way through Canva right now.
Oh, gotcha.
Meaning I
Don't
can't
forget to
get the.
breathe, it helps.
Oh, that is so frustrating.
All right, we shouldn't let this hold it up. I will give it to May 2nd.
So you're gonna fix that date before?
Yeah, when I can not be on camera.
Okay, I get it. Did you want to put on there how long this 10-minute survey? You want to put that as a adjective?
On the.
On the postcard?
Postcard.
It only takes 5 to 10 minutes to complete.
survey.
I mean, what makes it more
I
like
like
10
brief.
is if they spend a couple of minutes on each.
10 minutes, are you kidding me?
Yeah, 10 minutes,
Oh,
yeah, I'd say
no
brief.
way.
There's the thing, is we appreciate you taking the time, so we just write, we appreciate you taking 5 to 10 minutes to complete the
There it
survey.
is. Bang.
On the,
On that front of the postcard.
okay.
Okay,
I just accidentally-
Do you say anything about that this is the first of 2 surveys?
what's that?
Do you say anything on this card that this is the first of 2 surveys? So they realize that there are going to be 2 different surveys that some people
yeah.
have to respond
Should you
to.
just say that to the
I'm
family?
only worried that the postcards started to get really text heavy.
I'm just,
No, but I think that's a legitimate thing, so whether you
Should you
talk
say it to the
about
families?
putting that on the family survey at the top, this is the second, if you, and I think it may be there, if you receive this as a community member, feel free. I don't remember, let's look at the family survey and see if it says that. So now Lindy's back on. Family survey? This form is oh, you just turned it off. This form
Survey
is not
says.
accepting responses. Fine. I've been locked out.
Did I lock you out?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find the dang.
Well, we're putting that up.
I'm gonna work.
It's not mentioned.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And this is on both. Again, to be more friendly to the ultimate user, do we need to historically say in November of 2017, this was formed? I mean, it's just a lot of legalese that doesn't seem necessary in this type of document.
We have this contract.
Yes.
No, I know what you mean.
You know, you don't really
Yeah.
need to say that. You could just
Yeah.
say that.
We know what we are now.
Yeah.
How about this data will be compiled and shared to be used to inform strategic? Just start right there. Instead of the data, just say this data. Okay? And get rid of the whole top part on both of these. Instead of the, say this data will be compiled and shared with the RSUD board to be used to inform strategic planning for the future of the Rochester-Stockbridge Unified District.
Yeah.
Just straight to the point.
Right. It's,
Well, I'm gonna push back a little bit. I think they need to know why is this group even here? Who made you kings and queens?
Because,
The board put you on this.
I don't think anybody.
So I think if you take the first sentence out.
You all
Say
volunteer.
October 2024, the
I just put in.
RSUD school board voted unanimously to create this task force, and that was their charge, and then here we go. But to let them know where this task force come from.
How about in 2017, Rochester and Stockbridge voted to form the Rochester-Stockbridge Unified District. In 2024, the school board formed a community engagement task force. The RSUD school board formed a community engagement task force to gather input from district stakeholders about what's working, what's needed, and ideas for improvement. The short survey, 5 to 10 minutes, will help guide future planning. It's open to anyone connected to RSUD, not just Rochester or Stockbridge residents. We need to change that, right?
I agree, it's too much. I think it's implied. This data
And I
will
hate
be compiled and shared with the RSUD board. I think it's implied.
Probably just say, I don't think anybody's gonna be like, I refuse to fill this out until I know who's responsible.
Yeah, that's,
I really don't think so either. And I think people will glaze over.
Yeah.
and I hate the phrase task force. I mean, it's one thing to use it here and that, but I wouldn't want to send a document out that says, has formed a task force.
Community engagement team.
Really, I mean, I read that and I'm like, I really don't like this.
How about the data from this survey will be compiled
Just
and
the
shared
information from this survey, yeah, it's keep it simple.
Yeah.
to be used to inform strategic planning for the future of the Rochester. People know this is coming. It's been announced at town meetings. I put it on Front Porch Forum in Rochester, so yeah, people
that's
know
good.
it's coming.
All right, well then.
Okay, so give me the language again.
The data from this survey will be compiled and shared with the RSUD board to be used to inform strategic planning for the
Just
future.
last-
Basically the last sentence.
Except you're changing would to will. The data
Right,
from
but
this
the
survey
survey
will
will
be
be
compiled. It reminds me of,
A standing group of volunteers.
Fill it out or get a 1%
would be
tax.
compiled.
Well, we're back
The
to
18th, beginning, this group of people.
Which survey are we on here? Stockbridge.
They're both the same in that part, right?
They should be.
Yeah.
I think they
At
should
the
be
top.
exactly the
They should be
same.
exactly the same.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting that the top of both of them be the same?
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm just not seeing the update, so whoever hasn't fixed it.
She's still fighting with Canva.
So just not right now. There we
The
go.
survey will be used to assist the RSUD
I had
board
one of those.
Okay,
to plan
so now are
strategic,
we,
to inform strategic planning for the future,
Lost
something like
control.
that.
we're in the family.
All right, let's do the family and then we can edit
It went
it.
3 to 5, I would say 5 to 10.
5 to 10.
Yeah.
I really would.
Okay. We'll fix the top.
Okay.
We're gonna have others too there, right? Not that there is another.
I don't know that there is another.
Edit the last sentence.
Because it's strategic and strategies. I should bang it on
So you want the top of the family to say exactly what the top of the community said, but you want to add that this is, that if they filled out the community survey.
I'm taking the first strategies out.
Yes, please.
Say that again.
That if they filled out the community survey,
Already.
that they should
Except
fill
this
out
one
the
will go
family.
out first, so I think that goes on the community.
Oh, yeah.
Survey.
Family, so yeah, on the community survey, we need to write,
Family survey people will have access to before the community survey.
Because family's going
Well,
on.
then it should say, when the community survey comes, still on the family,
Okay.
the community survey comes, please, it's a different set of questions.
you know,
Why do they have to be delivered separately? Just curious.
Delivery methods.
yeah, to-
We're just, yeah.
We're saying postage.
I don't think there's a way to edit out
You can send it all to the
family
parents
members
through the email.
from the mailer, right?
Right.
and there's like a handful that Lindy said she would typically will like deliver it to them that won't use the email really, so.
When the community survey comes out, right?
Okay, we're down to 15 minutes. We need to get moving.
Okay, can we stick a tack
We only
in
need 5 to 10.
the community, making sure that we word it right?
Yeah,
Okay, because I don't think we did it on that one, and I don't want to drop that ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
I copy and pasted it at the top of the family one too.
About-
So
Okay.
Okay. So we have Wood Towns,
Yep, next.
Wood School. Might change the order a little once this is all said and done, but.
Oh, cool.
I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down.
No.
Did you intentionally leave off the PTO, combining PTO with PTA?
Under,
Strength, collaboration, meeting.
I thought that was another question. I thought I saw it.
Maybe it doesn't even.
Combining.
Well, parent and community involvement is on there, but this is about mutual strength and collaboration. The PTOs are already connected.
Oh, excellent.
yeah. They're not one unit, but they do a lot together, is the way I would say.
Would PTO be capitalized?
Literacy and math
Yeah.
goals, or one goal.
Yeah.
Is your after-school program in there?
One plan.
Can we add farm?
Yeah,
Farm
I
to
think I
school?
would do, maybe parentheses, after-school program,
yeah,
you know, 'cause people are gonna go, one planet, what's that?
Good point.
right, they call it, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Farm.
Forest.
Do something about that one, right?
Farm, forest.
I don't, I can't even tell you what it is because it's too long. I know. I'm like, the gardening.
Okay.
School garden.
Yep. And then other.
When this is published, what, if you hit other, are you able to type in what the other is?
That was I thinking, if you can't do, put an answer there, the other doesn't.
It needs to have a line to
Take
write.
it out.
Is there
Yeah.
one?
I don't know. Let's,
Again, that's data, it's gonna have to be analyzed by somebody.
Lindy, do you want to be the contact for the similar question for the community survey?
I can't be.
I don't mind being it, but we'll just,
We'll just share
Yeah.
information. Okay, we're gonna test the other thing in a second. Let me scroll down. Because that's a good point. I don't know if it does let you type or not.
Right.
Which it should. I mean, I use it for work.
It does.
And I do an other, and there's
It
a
does.
line option, and you can type it in.
Crap.
Yeah.
Just double check it before someone emails me and I can't type in over. That's usually what happens.
Can you slow down just a little?
Yep,
That's
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right, it's a big sentence.
But you guys are looking for, that's a tough question.
Which one?
The one that says, is your student? You're opening yourselves up there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't put, please comment.
This is just a personal thing, but I know that we say student, but
Be
it's
child.
actually their child, you know?
Not necessarily.
That's why we say
In some of
student.
the
That's why we're saying
households.
student.
Yeah.
What about?
Is the child
are you
in your
satisfied
care?
with the education?
I thought you were gonna say learner.
Yes, you're learning.
Stuff to say.
I missed that, what did you say?
Yeah.
Keith is saying, is your student receiving the education you hope for is a loaded question.
It's a very loaded
Right.
question.
So figuring out a better way.
Yeah, but there's no framework.
It's almost like, are you pleased with the,
It's subjective.
you know?
Yeah, that question, if you don't have a place for them to justify what number they picked,
Then,
then you might want to just not do
Do
it.
you want to provide a space for elaboration?
or
do you have
I think that's definitely critical.
subjects
I do too.
with that? So literacy, 1 to 10, math and science, or you know what I mean? Language arts, and have
Yeah.
each of those with a 1 to 10, and
That's
then we
a good
get a sense
suggestion. That's a
of,
good way.
oh,
Break it
they're
down.
not happy with literacy.
Yeah, that's a good-
Or,
Yeah,
you
that's
know
a
what I
good
mean?
suggestion. Because otherwise,
Yeah, it's like,
what does it mean?
Easy grid to put together if you don't.
Like the grid one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Choice.
I do think we could put social on there too.
Social.
Yeah,
emotional,
yeah.
Or just
We did
socially
talk
both.
about that, yeah.
And both.
I mean, I would just do every
Make it grid.
subject you have, you know?
By subject.
Yeah, I think that
they
would
may
be,
not
I
be
think that would be
Yeah,
helpful information.
socially.
They may not be
And
feeling like they're
socially
getting
emotional.
enough science,
Yeah,
social studies
yeah.
or whatever.
And if they have more than one child,
That's the student.
We will
ask.
know, that- well, we won't know that.
And we have quite a few multifamily, multi-classroom.
Do you want to just elaborate here and then have a limited character right after that question? So people can say the literacy isn't enough, or it's great, or it's, the math is whatever, they can elaborate.
Gives us a little reasoning.
Sorry, this is being sent home in folders for kids. That's the delivery mechanism for the families.
It's, no, you're gonna fill it out just like this.
Online, in email.
Electronically. But
I mean, we
There's
could
no-
do it paper.
For multi-kid families, I'm just thinking like.
It is different depending on the room you're in, potentially, yeah.
So could we do, I mean, what's the most somebody has for students?
In this building? Well, in either building?
Yeah,
I
3?
have kids in 4 different rooms. It's a lot of surveys.
Is there a way to have them click like
Great.
student 1, and then student 2,
Drop
Student
down.
one,
Yeah.
and then these 6.
and then all those
a
questions,
one
student
short.
2.
Right, just adds it to the spreadsheet.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
student 2, this 10,
yeah.
collaboration,
Okay.
Yeah.
student 3.
Yeah.
Because it's really just this question.
Right.
And you can have it as a drop down, it's like add student, add student. So it's not like you just have all these blank ones,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And best.
But use this and not the list of.
Specific subject. Make it.
No, I think I would still do the subjects.
Okay,
Okay.
Otherwise, we still don't know what they're,
ask it for clarification.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
important to answer, like, what grade, the grade of the child, to help you?
Student 1 grade level.
I'm asking,
Yeah, no, I
I'm not a
agree.
parent, that's all. I'm gonna
I
ask you the
100%
question.
If we're gonna
agree.
go to that depth, we might as well ask the grade
Yes,
that they're in.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know it seems like a lot, but I do think that that's all
That's
valuable.
important.
Yeah.
is it too unsafe for teachers in that way? If it's that specific?
But it's important for the parents, if the parents
No,
feel that
I'm-
way.
I'm just saying-
The school board should be, or the school district should be aware.
As I'm saying, with the RSUD survey, we were aware that some of the questions we had come up with could identify specific teachers, and we wanted to be sensitive to that. So if a family is saying that they're from Rochester, or they're from Stockbridge, and their child is in third grade, it's going to be very clear what teachers they are critical of, perhaps. So that's just something that the data can be there, but depending on the report.
No, Mary's right.
But you're looking for,
I'll weigh in as a teacher, I'd want that feedback though. Like if I
Yeah.
wasn't teaching enough
Can
of
I-
one thing, right?
just another factor that would have. If you get one bad review, that's one parent who's annoyed. You want to see a pattern. So if you get, 100 people saying something is at the same level, then you should be aware of it. I'm
Is
sorry
that
that
a
it's.
principal information, or is that school board information at that level?
Yeah, I think, so, this is where you get into trouble in
Yeah.
small communities, because it becomes personally
I hear you.
identifiable information.
But if you're gonna
Mary's
ask the
absolutely
question,
right.
have a point.
You know, Suzette teaches first grade at Stockbridge, boy, and when that is compiled for the school board, I'm just thinking about this for a minute.
Why don't we leave
The fact that, hang on, this also goes to the superintendent. The fact that you have a first grade teacher that may or may not be where you want her to be is a personnel issue. That's not a board issue. That is, they hired the superintendent to take care of personnel. If the superintendent doesn't take care of it, then they can fire the superintendent. They can get on his or her ass. So in this case, I think and so we have to think about this grade level thing. I think what you might be able to do is maybe you can do primary and intermediate, so you can do a grade group. But you're asking for information and their opinions on, not on the teacher, but on the program.
Yeah.
And so you've got to so we need to, I really appreciate you bringing this up, because I would have woken up in the middle of the night and gone, so that you're asking
Programming,
about
not.
reading and literacy, and they may be thinking more along teacher line, but what you're really wanting from them is about the programming. Is the program that's being used now doing the trick for your kid? And if you did it, you could do it in grade level groups. I mean, you could do primary, you could do pre-K to 3 and 4 to 6, and then that just at least pulls in other people.
Do you not
would-
want to know that information though? Like you as
I would
in charge of the
be,
staff? Like I would,
honestly-
if I could get that information, I'd want to know it.
And it's not that it works to the detriment.
Teachers union.
You would be there to
It would
help.
be grievable, I think. Or maybe not grievable, but
I'm not
it would
saying-
be an issue if teachers felt they were being personally identified publicly and not following.
But we don't need to. I don't think we need to ask
But
which school.
Everyone's asking though. We're not like, sorry.
I don't care.
No, go ahead.
You go.
I was just thinking, do we need to ask which school?
It'll be identified.
It's already at the top. We
Oh,
can-
that's true. It's identified at the top. Yeah.
Sarah?
Katie.
Katie, sorry.
That's okay.
God, what did I just
I
do?
think,
Yeah.
I don't think we're asking about performance of anything other than their experience in that classroom, and that is so subjective based on your students. So, the prompt then is, it seems that we've got a lot of kids who are struggling in math. What is then going to address it? It's not
The teacher.
every single teacher, like everybody's
Yeah.
pointing the finger at this first grade teacher or this third grade teacher saying you're doing something wrong. It's just across the board. Because I don't necessarily think we need to know grade. I don't think that's going to inform. Do you?
Are we okay with staying a few minutes late?
Yeah.
'Cause there's
I mean,
I'll be honest, I could, at this point in
Yeah.
the school year,
yeah.
I would be shocked if I didn't know some of the stuff coming through. Between my own observations and evaluations and walkthroughs,
Okay.
between talking to parents, and even just teachers sharing, like, I'm really having this struggle. Like, so I don't necessarily feel the need for it to be specific to grade level, but you could do it by chunks, like our primary grades and our intermediate grades.
But the board's not going to execute anything based on grade level. Like no decision making for the, right? Like.
No, but I mean, I guess I just don't want the information to be skewed. Like if you, like say we're not identifying grade level and we're getting, a ton of parents complaining
About math. Yeah.
And it so happens that those complaints were for second and third grade. We don't know that. It could be any of them.
Right,
So what
but,
do we do with that information?
but then what it would call for, and
Yeah.
I was a board member and the superintendent, I'd be saying, so Lindy, what does your data look like?
Right.
Is this,
Have
you
you
have,
connected with
is
those
there a
families?
tank
Yeah.
someplace? Is there
Okay.
a big dip? Or is this, just kids are not growing at the rate that they're supposed to be as they go through?
Sure.
So it's really not
It's
working
just
for
going
everybody,
to
what it
charge
is.
them to-
You have other information.
Yeah,
where you can
yeah.
get that without-
Okay. No, that's why I'm just trying to understand.
but-
How to make it actionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all,
So we could do it chunks. And I would recommend pre-K to 3, like as primary.
Yeah.
so here's what I'm gonna suggest, you can say no.
Oh, okay. And 4 through 6.
Is that this has more emotion in it than I was anticipating. So, but because, again, this is an emailed one, this can go out later because it turns around faster. So if we want to just make those changes and take one more look at it, then Lindy can hit the send button the next day or that night.
It doesn't take long.
Because this feels not ready for prime time. They're not insignificant little changes that need to be made. They feel bigger than that.
I agree, and I'd like you to look at it from the lens of like what it looks like on the receiving end.
Yeah, and I
not
don't want it to
Does that
fall on
make
you,
sense?
I don't want it to fall on you, I don't want it to fall on me. That's not what we said.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were the grade levels toward this, all the different subjects?
Meaning like science, social studies,
Well, yeah,
yes,
well,
yeah.
Not being a parent, I know that's a foolish question, but I was just curious.
No, it's about,
But the math program is very specific, and the literacy program is very specific. But the social studies science piece and the social emotional piece is up to the teachers. Is that accurate?
For folks to hear, you know, science.
yeah.
Yeah.
What about the
Science
singles?
is really important, and somewhere along the line, in No Child Left Behind, it goes far back, when we only focused on reading and math, everything else got dropped. Then science, all of a sudden, oh, we should be doing that, and then all of a sudden, you know, the standards were way up here, and nobody been doing it for 4 or 5 years, knowing it wasn't a good idea, but we did anyway. And then, I don't know what happened to social studies, it's kind of not good. Anyway, so let's do that. Let's push this one off until, what, did you have something?
I have a question. Is outdoor ed, like,
I would put the specials
every
on there
strand?
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
specials as a group?
Let's have a little threesome here, Mary, you and Linda
Yeah.
and I, to look at
Discussion.
those and get them as comprehensive as we can to get them out to people.
Yeah,
So that goes back.
Do you want to send a draft to us just
Yeah.
to look at?
Yeah.
yeah.
And just do it that way.
Are you guys on your emails sort of regularly, so if it popped up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we able to comment on it when it comes through?
You can't comment on
That's too
this
bad.
particular, on forms.
That's a bummer.
So can we just
You just
reply
have to
all
email.
to everyone so we can kind of have
Yeah,
a group
right.
email discussion?
Reference the
Yeah,
could
we're
just
not
send a
a, we're
document,
not
a Word
a
document.
decision-making board, we don't have a
Indeed.
forum.
Yeah. I feel like we could just collaborate through email together a
Get
little
some
bit.
of that done before we get in here.
Yeah.
But the one that's going home sooner, it says on there, this is the first of 2 for families. Did we say that on there?
It's going to up at the top.
Okay.
The
I just want to
community
make
one?
sure, because.
The community one. Or the family one's gonna
The
say,
family
Family
one
one
will
has to
say
say
it because it'll go out sooner,
After.
even with this,
even with this change.
yeah,
Okay,
did it all.
by next week.
What? No, the family won't go out before the community.
Yeah, so no, now it won't. Should one of the documents, which one should say this is the first of 2, if you're a family member?
They both say it.
Okay,
The community one's ready to go.
The community one's gonna end up first, because we just put a hold on the family.
okay,
And if we can really cut, because we're also missing 2 members, so we don't know where they weigh in.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I'm thinking that this one will be ready to hit send on May 1st,
the family one,
the family.
yeah, okay, that's fine,
Is that okay?
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Because I'm still looking at our next meeting is the 17th. So I don't know what you want to do about that, just cancel it? You won't be here either. Let's just cancel the 17th. And,
And the first we're going until 7 anyways, we had committed in May to go later.
it was May 1st, one of them? Yeah, that's right, all of the May. So make sure that you're ready to do a full 2 hours, and we'll get all of that. We'll get, because those are biggies. The family needs to be. Yes. Oh, and those pita chips, yes, after those, and then one, yeah, we're gonna want those too. So,
Maybe some
all right.
sushi with that wasabi, right?
Sounds good.
So let me just make sure nothing is like huge.
I'm gonna cancel it.
And I'll get well, I'll have to do this before. So I'm going to the Pacific Northwest for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Alrighty.
Did we want to scroll through the rest of them or no?
I think that's the end.
Oh, that is the end.
That is the end.
All right.
Done.
Good talk.
So great work. I just appreciate the effort you're putting into making it say really what you want it to say. And being cognizant of how difficult some types of data can be to pull apart, but also getting the answers that you want and being careful about your, you care about your community, so you're not trying to stir anything up or.
And we care about our staff,
Absolutely.
so.
So, okay, awesome. Anything else?
May 1st is our next time we're together, correct?
What's that?
May 1st is our next time.
That is correct.
Let's confirm.
And I will be here, hot off the red eye.
Yeah.
Thank you.